Welcome back to another recap, everybody. All right, I just finished watching the Heat and Nuggets game, so that's why these videos are out a little bit longer than you guys anticipate. But either way, we're gonna talk about this pretty entertaining game between the Florida Panthers and the Montreal Canadiens. And while this was a pretty entertaining game, it kind of shows that no opponent is ever easy, even if the team is a few games under 500, like the Montreal Canadiens, the Habs. But somehow, some way, the Florida Panthers were able to pull through. Got the 2 points, and still the best team in the NHL right now. Now, is it a good thing with one of the best teams in the NHL? Absolutely. Will that be the impact going to playoff time? Absolutely. Do we want the President's Cup? Probably not. I don't know. It's one of those conflict of interest thing. Be with you guys. It is the oh my goodness, I'm sorry. It is Anthony Stolarz going up against Sam Montembeault. I'm sorry. I'm not good with names. I'm just gonna say Montembeault. So in the first period, we start off with the face-off win from Barkov. There were plenty of hits there, with plenty of saves from each goalie. 7 minutes into the game, we have a first goal of the game, assisted by Carter Verhaeghe. That's his 32nd assist of the season, and Reinhardt. That's his 30th assist of the season. Off the snapshot, it's Barkov, our captain, scoring yet another goal against Montreal Canadiens. This is the Habs killer right here, Barkov, scoring his 14th goal of the season. Just an absolute incredible career against the Canadiens. Barkov, just absolutely awesome. But the lead was quickly diminished as their captain scores his goal. This is assisted by Davis Safford. That's his 10th assist of the season. And Arbogzek, I can't pronounce it with the life of me. That's his 4th assist of the season. Off the wrist shot is Nick Suzuki. Nick Suzuki with his 24th goal of the season. And quickly things tied up. And for the rest of the period, it has been relatively interesting. Sorry. Bennett tries the backhand. That was saved by Montembeault. Nick Cousins the same. Bennett with the wrist shots. Both of them were saved by Montembeault. Kevin Stanley gets called for a hold against Colin White. Colin White is, I believe, a former Panther as well, as far as I remember. So Montreal goes on the power play, and Montreal did put a lot of pressure on Stolarz. Suzuki with the snapshot that was saved by Stolarz. Slafkovsky with the wrist shot that was saved by Stolarz. Newhook with the wrist shot that was also saved by Stolarz. Suzuki again with the backhand that was saved by Stolarz. Newhook snapshot that was saved by Stolarz again. And then that penalty would be killed off. So 5 shots on goal for that one. Let me double check. Yes, 5 shots on goal. And Stolarz saved all of them. And then, after the penalty was killed off, Florida goes on a power play. David Savard severed with the tripping call against Los Serenen. And Florida goes on a power play. And we only get 1 shot on goal out of the entire time. Meanwhile, throughout the power play, Matheson, a former Panther, I know it, with the wrist shot, that tried a shorthanded opportunity, but that was saved by Stolarz. But yeah, we did not do anything. We didn't even get a shot on goal. We had a shot attempt, but that misses to the right with the tip-in. So bad power play for Florida. Absolutely bad power play. And then near the end of the first period, there was a fight. There was a fight going on between Matthew Tkachuk and Mike Matheson. Both of them roughed each other up behind the netting, and things were getting pushy and shoving. So this became a 4-on-4, And that's when the first period ends, but not before another penalty was called on Jake Evans for tripping Mikula. A little bit of a scuffle at the end, right at the end. This became a 4-on-3 power play for Florida starting the second period, and then eventually going to be a regular power play before that was eventually killed off. So that is definitely disappointing. A very disappointing penalty. We did get a couple of shots on goal for Florida. Barkov tries to get one, but that was saved by Montembeault. Carter Verhaeghe with the wrist shot, that was saved by Montembeault. And penalty was killed off. So 2. So not great. Not great at all whatsoever. So throughout the rest, there would be some missing shots. And then penalty would be called on Jonathan Kovacevic with the high sting against Nick Cousins, and Nick Cousins rightfully frustrated, and the team rightfully frustrated with this, and Florida goes back on the power play. Sam Reinhart with the wrist shot during the power play, that was saved by Montembeault. Barkov with the wrist shot, that was saved by Montembeault again. Then Sam Reinhart tries to give him, but that was all saved by Montembeault. Montour with the snap shot, he missed to the right. And then Reinhardt with the slap shot, that was saved by Montembeault. And penalty is killed off right there. Ulrich Larson tries to get one, but that was also saved by Montembeault. And the power play would be killed off there. So no goal there. So power play is pretty lackluster at this stage right now. But a few minutes later, another penalty for Florida. David Savard goes back to the penalty box. He is called for a cross-check against Matthew Tkachuk. Matthew Tkachuk, of course, kind of retaliates, saying some things to Savard. Things get chirpy. Florida goes back on the power play. Matthew Tkachuk tries to get one. He keeps missing. But somebody else would get this goal. And I'm sure you know who it is at this point. This is assisted by Barkov. That's his 43rd assist. So he gets another point. And Matthew Tkachuk, that's his 47th assist. So he was the one that was trying to get the goal during the process of this power play. But he was able to assist with a wrist shot. His 40th goal of the season. Literally his 40th goal of the season. It's Sam Reinhart. That's his 40th of the season. And I think that is his 22nd special teams goal, power play goal, special teams. It's one of those things, but Reinhart having another spectacular season. This is the first time in his career who's ever scored this much in his career, let alone in the Panther uniform. One of the few Panthers to do it. The most recent one was Carter Verhaeghe a couple of years ago. That's awesome. Literally amazing. So power play goal for Florida. So there will be some. So for the rest of the period, there will be some shots attempts. Stolarz playing is magnificent. In all fairness for Stolarz, he was a great goalie tonight. He really was. He was just spectacular tonight against Montreal. Absolutely great. But unfortunately, right at the end of the second period, literally with 7 milliseconds left of the second period. Literally 7 milliseconds. Juraj Slafkovsky gets a snapshot goal assisted by Nick Suzuki. Just awful defending by Florida. Literally right at the end of the freaking second period, we gave up a game-tying goal. That should not happen, but it did happen. That's his 13th goal of the season, and that ties the game up going to the third period. That's bad. That's really bad. Montreal starts off with the face-off win and gets blocked right away. Rodriguez with the backhand that wanted to be saved by Montembeault as well. There was a interference. Mikula gets called for the interference against Jesse Unionen, and Montreal, with 25 seconds later, gets a power play goal, and they take the lead here. Nick Suzuki with the assist, that's his 35th assist, and Cole Caulfield with his 28th assist of the season. Off the snapshot is Alex Newhook. That's his 9th goal of the season, and that's the go-ahead goal, 3-2. A little bit after that, Caulfield called for a tripping against Montour. Florida goes on a power play. They get one shot on goal throughout the entire power play with this Matthew Tkachuk with the wrist shot. That was saved by Montembeault, and penalty would be killed off there. Evan Rodriguez here gets called for goalkeeper interference. Okay, we need to talk about this penalty. There's a rule, a specific rule. An interference happens when the goalie is on the crease and then you exactly hindered the goalie's position to try to save the puck by bumping into him, crashing into him, whatever the case may be. There's not a rule, at least I don't think, that could specify a foul being outside the crease, right? So a couple of things happened before this penalty. One, Rodriguez was actually getting interfered. The referees didn't have the guts to call it. Number two, Montembeault was way out of the crease, way out in front, and he was on the ice. He was not on the freaking crease. Nowhere on the crease. He was so far ahead, and when Montembeault crashes into Rodriguez gets called for interference. That is one of the worst goalkeeping interference calls I have ever seen. And I've watched plenty of hockey. That was one of the worst calls I've seen in quite some time. I mean, how are you gonna call goalkeeper interference if the goalie is way outside the crease? He's so far, and then it's not like Rodriguez intentionally interfered with Montembeault. He was getting interfered by a Montreal player. There was nothing he could have done to get out of the way anyway. So why is he getting called interference there? That is my question. That's actually two questions. If he's getting interfered, which you didn't have the guts to call it, how does he have enough time to get out of the way of Montembeault? And number two, why does it have an access to have an opportunity to have the interference call anyway if he's outside the crease? You should be in the crease if you want the interference calls. That's bull. That is so stupid. And I have a feeling they're just gonna make it up because I feel like this has hardly been called, but when it's against, a conspiracy, they're saying a small market team, then yeah, they're going to get screwed. I don't know, man. That is one of the worst calls I've ever seen. So, and then Montreal goes on a power play. Obviously. Caulfield with the slash shot that was saved by Stolarz, and Stolarz is absolutely just amazing goalie. Sure, he'd given up 3 goals, but he was still really good. Caulfield with the wrist shot that was saved by Stolarz. Newhook with the tip-in that was saved by Stolarz. And the power play would be killed off at that point. So at least Florida was able to kill off this penalty. Thank God. But Ulrich Larson gets called for a trip against Caulfield. That sets off some things. And Montreal goes on yet another power play. Florida just would not stay off the box. But maybe this might be a good thing. I'll tell you why. Mike Matheson with the wrist shot that was saved by Stolarz. And the next puck, it was taken away by Barkov. Gives it to Reinhart. And guess what? Reinhart scores. He scores on a shorty. Barkov gets the 44th assist of the season. He gets 3 points tonight and gives it to Reinhart. Not only has a power play goal, but he has a shorthanded goal in the same game. This has not happened in a long time, folks. The same player who gets a power play goal and a shorthanded goal. The only thing that was missing is a regular 5-on-5 goal, which would be a cycle. But Reinhart gets his second goal of the game and his 41st goal of the season. Reinhart continues to have one of his best seasons ever. And this ties the game up 3-3. Just absolutely amazing. Amazing to tie it up like that. So for the rest of the third period, Montreal and Florida battle each other out. Anthony Stolarz just have himself a game, making some incredible saves that I didn't think it was a capable of doing. This is some Bobrovsky type of saves. That's probably the good thing, because Bobrovsky could be his mentor as he's trying to make his crazy saves, and it's working, We then go Verhage tries to end it off, but he misses high and wide to the left, and Montembeault just able to stay ahead of Florida's game, and we end the regulation 3-3, and each team gets a point, and we go to overtime. Barkov, okay, here we go. Barkov starts off with a face-off win against Nick Suzuki. Suzuki hits a Montour takeaway by Matthew Tkachuk. Evan Rodriguez with the wrist shot trying to finish this game off. That was saved by Montembeault. Jake Evans with the wrist shot. That was saved by Stolarz. Jake Evans gets blocked by Montour. Montour with the wrist shot. That was saved by Montembeault, and almost too. Reinhart hits Armia. Koveski with the wrist shot that was saved by Stolarz. Just an absolutely emphatic save by Stolarz once again. Newhook with the wrist shot, he missed to the left. Verhage just barely missing it to the right. And Barkov missing it with the tip in to the right. And overtime was not enough. We go to shootout. Again, folks. I think that's our third or fourth shootout of the season. But either way, we start off with the Montreal shot with Jesse Ionien, and Ionien with the failed shot attempt. Just not a great shot there by him, and that puck did not go behind the net. Stolarz didn't even save the puck. That was just a bad shot right there. Reinhart looking to open the score sheet in the shootout, and that was saved by Montembeault, unfortunately. Suzuki tries to snapshot it, and Stolarz with the reach, glove save by Stolarz, and that was a great save. Another great save. He was like trying to stretch out, and the puck went straight to the goalie glove, and he saves this one. Barkov, a halved killer, and he buries it with the wrist shot, goes by Montembeault, and Florida leads this one 1-0 in the shootout. Awesome. Now, Florida can end this game right here with the last save against Cole Caulfield, but Caulfield would get this one, and it goes past Anthony Stolarz, so it ties 1-1, and the game lays in the hands of Anton Lundell, and Lundell with one of the filthiest, dirtiest shootout goals I've seen as a Florida Panther. Basically, he had the puck, he was dribbling with it, and it goes left, right, and then sharp back to left, and then wrist shots to the empty nets when Montembeault just could not do anything about it as he was shifted right. Lundell, oh my God, Lundell, you are a menace. How do you do that, dude? He had a puck dribbling right, and then back to left, and then wrist shot it like this. I mean, that was wow. Insane. That is one of the dirtiest goals I've seen in quite some time, and that ends the game. Final score of this game would be 4-3 in shootout against the Montreal Canadiens. When we look at the team stats, Florida had more shots than Montreal did. Florida definitely had a couple more hits than Montreal did. Florida's face-off wins were pretty good. Florida had 5 power play opportunities. They did have 1, and that was with Reinhart. Montreal did have 4 power plays. They did have 1. Florida had 1 shorthanded goal, and that was with Reinhart. Montreal had more block shots. Florida had 1 more takeaway. They evened out with giveaways. And stars of the game, Sam Reinhart with 2 goals and 1 assist. 2 stars, they give it to Nick Suzuki with 1 goal, 2 assists. In the 3 stars, they give it to Alexander Barkov with 1 goal and 2 assists. He has 3 points tonight, and that's definitely well deserved for Alexander Barkov. Absolutely awesome game there. And Florida continues their winning ways as when we look at the league as of right now, they are currently first in the league ahead of Boston. Now we do have a game in hand. Boston did play one more game ahead of us, and that's probably a good thing, and possibly a bad thing too, because I think it could be a President's Cup race, which we know about the President's Cup curse theory, whatever the case may be. And number 2, we still have not lost our edge like we had last year when we were just barely able to get into the playoffs. This season, I believe we're definitely going to make it to the playoffs very easily. I'm just scared we might end up going for the President's Cup, and we have the same problem as a couple of seasons ago. So, yeah, conflict of interest. Florida's definitely going to try to go back to the Stanley Cup final and possibly win it for the first time ever. That would be the most spectacular thing ever in South Florida sports, because the Dolphins were able to do it, but that was a long time ago. The Heat's been there and done that. The Marlins been there and done that. But, granted, for the Marlins, they've been struggling to even get back to the playoffs. But last season, they finally made it back in the full season, which that was freaking beautiful. That was awesome. Panthers are the only ones who didn't win for within 30 years of existence. They still have not been able to win the Stanley Cup, and they're due for one. The way how they've been playing, they're due for a Stanley Cup victory. Hopefully they can get it this season. If they did, we'll have a lot to celebrate, and the hockey community grows in South Florida. That'll be awesome. Anyway, their next game is against Detroit Red Wings at 3 o'clock, ABC and ESPN Plus. That was initially 7 o'clock, but they moved it earlier to 3 o'clock. I thought that was strange that they did that. Oh, one more thing I could comment. They have their record is 40. Where is it? 40, 16, and 4. And this is good, but here's why I'm laughing at this. Their home record is 28 and 2. You want to know what their road record is? And I swear to you, this is the same thing. Look it up for yourself. It's 28 and 2. I know, right? It's identical. Really identical record there. It's pretty awesome. But anyway, guys, there you go. That's going to do it for this one. If you have enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to our content, because Miami Teams, you guys are back. And when he does, hit the right there with the entertainment you deserve. This is Miami TVG. Sign off, folks. Good night, everybody.